Welcome into New York Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. In today's show, we're going to talk about the latest news surrounding the Knicks. Could they get all the way up to the 3 seed in the Eastern Conference? Who could they look at in the first round? And we got to talk about Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle, Immanuel Quickley, Quentin Grimes, R.J. Barrett, as a lot of players on the Knicks are playing well. And I think there's still some room for this team to get better if some other players step up their game. First, though, let's talk about what's going on around this team. You got the Miami Heat Friday night. Then you got a tough game against the Boston Celtics Sunday, prime time on ESPN at 6:30. Then you got the Charlotte Hornets on Tuesday. Then you got the Sacramento Kings. And you got your West Coast road trip. You got some tough games coming up the rest of the season. But the Knicks right now sit at 37-27, and they have 18 games left in the season. If they go 500 the rest of the way, as in they win 9 games, they lose 9 games, this team would be up to 46 wins. And if you go back to prior to the season, if you were watching the show during the offseason, we always had those live streams, and we always asked a question. Over, under 38.5 wins. That was the season projection and prediction by ESPN in Las Vegas. The Knicks, they're already at 37.5 wins. So you got 18 more games to go. And if you go 500 the rest of the way, you will finish with a 46-36 record. So I want to ask this question and get everyone involved in the show early. How many games will the Knicks win this season? Very easy. 37-27 right now. They got 18 more games to go. They go 500 the rest of the way. They'll finish at 46 wins. Let me know what you think down in the comment section. I'll give you my answer coming up in a second. This will be the pinned comment in the comment section below the video. So when you get hit with that YouTube ad break, scroll on down and let me know. I think the Knicks could win almost 50 games this season. You have 18 more to go. Say you go 11-7. That gets you up to 48 wins. Never, ever did I actually think that the New York Knicks in 2022 and in 2023 with Tom Thibodeau and Julius Randle could win 48 games. But honestly, I'd be upset if the Knicks don't win 48 games at this point. And someone asked me a question in the Chat Sports Studios today, which I thought was a good question. He asked me, Yo, Marsh, what would be considered a successful season for the New York Knicks at this point? And I answered, if you just make the playoffs at this point, you're a top 7 seed, which the Knicks are right now, that the 5th seed will break that down in a little bit. It's been a success because nobody expected this team to do what they've been doing. No one expected, except me, that Jalen Brunson could be arguably a top 5 point guard in the NBA. He was named the Eastern Conference Player of the Month for the month of February. He's been electric. He's averaging like 27 points this month. He's doing everything the New York Knicks could have asked. But it's not just Jalen Brunson. We got to give credit to Julius Randle, what he's been able to do this year after having arguably the worst year of his career last year with the Knicks. And it wasn't just the bad play for Randle. It was, honestly, he wasn't being a good teammate. He wasn't playing defense. He gave the thumbs down to the fans and pretty much told them to go F themselves. And then you fast forward 8 months later, and Julius Randle is getting MVP chance in the Garden. So salute to number 30. I know I'm really hard on you. Pause, but it's because I know and I know how good you can be. I see these games where you go for 40 and you got 15 rebounds and 7 assists and you're playing defense, you're blocking shots, you're getting out in the fast break and you're running, and then sometimes you slip up in the final minutes. The reason I'm so tough on Randle is because none of his mistakes or shortcomings happen because of a lack of talent. It's because sometimes up here. And I think here is where he struggles. And since here is where Jalen Brunson is one of the best in the league, that's what I think has made Julius Randle return to all-star form. And I think he's got a great chance to be an all-NBA player. Julius Randle, Jalen Brunson, they've been the driving force. We got to give love to Immanuel Quickley, who I said in a video earlier this week, I'm tired of saying Immanuel Quickley should be in the race for the 6th man of the year. I'm done saying that. I am now saying Immanuel Quickley should be the 6th man of the year. When you look at all the 6th man of the year candidates in Tyrese Maxey and Malcolm Brogdon and Immanuel Quickley, and you look at the plus minus when those guys are on the floor, he is the best out of all of them, and the metrics show that. And look, the Josh Hart trade, I don't need to say much more about that. You guys know how I feel about Josh Hart. I'm a big fan. This team is electric, and the fact that they could win 50 games this season is incredible. In a second, we're going to take a look at the standings and who the Knicks might play in the first round. It might be against a player that we talked about a lot on this channel. But first, I want to tell you guys about our proud sponsor of today's show, and that is Fume. Go to tryfume.com/chatsports. That link is in the comments and description of today's show. Our sponsor, Fume, is on a mission to accelerate humanity's breakup from the bad habits that consume far too many of us. Fume is a natural diffusive device that uses plants and behavioral science to help you trade out your negative habit for a positive one. I didn't expect much out of Fume when I got it, but the minty sensation is really powerful, and the 3 unique flavors that come in the Journey Pack are awesome. That includes maple pepper, crisp mint, and white cranberry. I do want to be very clear about this. Fume is not a vape. It's a non-electronic device designed to transform your negative habits. The easiest way to stop a bad habit is to switch to a positive one. And Fume is designed perfectly to do just that. Head to tryfume.com/chatsports and use code chatsports to save 10% off when you get the Journey Pack today. That's tryfum.com/chatsports. That link is in the comments and description. Make sure you use the promo code chatsports to save an additional 10% off your order today. The next topic I want to talk about in today's show is what a playoff matchup could be for the New York Knicks. I first want to look, producer Trace, at the standings of the Eastern Conference, and we'll do that quickly. When you look at where the Knicks stack up right now, as this video was filmed on Thursday afternoon, the Knicks are the 5th spot, sitting at 37-27. They're one more loss. They have one more loss, than the Cleveland Cavaliers at 39-26. They have plenty of time to catch them. So when you look at this, it's going to be 4-5 in the first round, and that would be the Knicks versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. Here are the full standings as well. You got the Bucks in the 1st seed. They might be on the quietest 16-game win streak of all time. You got the Boston Celtics at the 2 seed, who the New York Knicks have been their daddy all season long. You got the 76ers and phony James Harden at the 3 seed. You got the Cavs at the 4 spot, Donovan Mitchell. The Knicks at the 5 spot. You got the Brooklyn Nets at the 6 spot, but they continue to fall down the rankings as they have just fallen apart since the Kyrie and Kevin Durant trade. You got the Miami Heat at the 7th spot, who the Knicks play tonight. Big game, got to win that one. And then you got the Atlanta Hawks, Raptors, and Wizards to round out the top 10. In a second, we're going to break down the Donovan Mitchell potential matchup in Madison Square Garden in the first round of the Eastern Conference playoffs. But first, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, because there's no other Knicks YouTube channel that's doing what we're doing. We put out videos every single day on the latest Knicks news and rumors. We also go live for every single game day. We'll be live for the game on Friday. We'll be live for the game on Sunday. We'll be live for every game the rest of the season and the playoffs. It's going to get crazy. Sub for Knicks Dubs. Go down right now. Hit that big red sub button. How perfect of a story is it going to be when the New York Knicks play the Cleveland Cavaliers in the first round of the playoffs? And I should have said this a second ago. I think the Knicks can get up to that 4th seed. And I think it would be critical in a matchup against Cleveland, because you want a Game 7 where your cards are on the table, all the marbles are out of your bag. You want Game 7 at Madison Square Garden with the best damn fans in the world going crazy and screaming F Donovan Mitchell. I think you could beat the Cavs. I think you match up really well against them. I think you have the better point guard in Jalen Brunson compared to Darius Garland. I think they have the better shooting guard in Donovan Mitchell. But I like who we have as stoppers in Quentin Grimes as well as Josh Hart. At the small forward matchup, kind of a toss-up. They have some young guys. We have R.J. Barrett. Barrett has the potential to be better than those guys. I know a lot of people love Evan Mobley in his defense. I like Julius Randle in that matchup as well. And I think the matchup at the center spot is kind of a toss-up between Jared Allen and Mitchell Robinson. But the Knicks 100% have a better bench with Immanuel Quickley, Josh Hart, Obi Toppin, Isaiah Hartenstein, Jericho Sims, and all the Bulls that are going to play in that matchup. I got the Knicks beating the Cleveland Cavaliers in the first round matchup if they hook up in that round. So I want to ask you guys this question before we jet on out of here. Who would win in a first round matchup? Is it the Knicks? Is it the Cavs? Type NYK for the Knicks or CLE for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Let me know what you think. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Remember, give me a follow over on Twitter @MarshallGreen_.